I said in my previous chapter that I will talk today about myself and my family, and I will. I have a problem here in Australia, where I live. Being short is not a problem over there where I come from, in Lepe, that's Lepe, because we are all short over there. But here, people says that my head smells of feet. And they don't really know how I look, because all they can see is my bald patch moving like a billiard ball. And the kids point out to me in the street and say, "Hey, Mom, look, a walking bollard." Well, you cannot see this, but right now I am sitting on a $2 coin and my feet are dangling. My family is all short. Over there at home, in the bedrooms, beside the beds, instead of mats, we got springboards. And in the morning, to get out of bed, we need parachutes. And in the kitchen, we cannot use the stove. We can only use the oven. Well, actually, if we want to know how the stove looks like, we can only look at it in the instructions manual. My sister Julia, apart from being short, she's thin. When she was a kid, she was so thin that she wouldn't know where her back was until she started growing breasts. And when her breast grew, because she's so short, she couldn't walk without stepping on them. And then she entered the blackhead stage, she loves squeezing all kind of pimples. Well, she burst one of her own nipples, thinking it was a blackhead. And then she wanted to squeeze my belly button. And when the blackhead stage finished, she got pregnant. Straight away, a big shock for the family. My father still won't believe that the baby is really hers. My father, honest man, hard worker. He has a stall at the entrance of Lepe's public toilets, renting out stilts and pegs. Well, pegs have a double use. People also use them for hanging out their bit of toilet paper after using. That's called recycling. That's a local council regulation. It's not that everyone uses everyone else's toilet paper. No. You use your own bit, and it's up to you to decide how many times you want to use your own bit. Minimum of 5. That's the regulation. And my father has a system in which each customer has a number. He has all the numbers on hooks, and there is where each customer hands up their bit of toilet paper. And he knows whose is each number and what each person might have been eating. Well, even I know the eating habits of a few of the locals, because my father always comments during dinner on that. No matter what my mother cooks, he always finds some kind of connection in there. Lentils, that's what the doctor had for breakfast, though he put some pepperoni on his. He knows everything about poo, my father. He says that poo is like bread. Just by looking at it and the color and the consistency, you can know for how long it has been cooking inside the oven. But he won't touch it. That's the funny bit. He knows so much about bread, but he won't touch it. He says that is anti-hygienic. Well, I mentioned in the previous chapter that we are renowned in Lepe for being ignorant. That's a stereotype, but sometimes stereotypes carry a bit of truth. It's so difficult to get rid of the taboos of the old generation. My father, he's shorter than me. He doesn't wear his Panama hat anymore because he is fed up with people trying to pick him up thinking that he is a mushroom. We are all short over there. Yes, my family. Well, my wife, she's not short. She's Australian, but she's big. I mean, big, big. Um, she falls out of bed. She moves a bit while she's sleeping, and poor woman, she falls out of bed. Both sides at the same time. And she cannot fit in the toilet, so she has to go and do it outside in the backyard, and still she manages to get it out. The neighbor thinks it's not funny. But I love her anyway. Doesn't matter her dimensions. I love her. There is a small thing that got me concerned, though. We go to bed and she screams. We do it and she screams. She starts yelling things out afterwards. I mean, we do it first and then she screams while I am cleaning my thing with the curtains. Actually, well, I said also in the previous chapter that we are renowned for being dirty, no? Well, I am not exception. You might look at me and say, oh, he doesn't look like a bad person to me, no? Bad, I am not bad, but dirty. I can pull down my undies by farting. No hands, pure physical strength. And then I can pick up my undies with my foot and throw it up to the ceiling, and they will get stuck in there. Yeah. Well, I know when to wash my undies. It's not my style, and my wife is on a strike about that. Well, I don't even bother to take showers anymore because it's so frustrating. I have to stand in a stool to reach the water. And I haven't told you about my mom yet, but I won't, because I can hear some laughs around, and I don't want anyone laughing about my mom. She is a saint, and she writes some beautiful, lovely letters. So I'm going to read one of her letters to me next. Cheerio!